Hello and welcome to Cosmic Alignment, the podcast where we deep dive into the astrological energies affecting the collective each week. This week is October 13th through the 19th. It is a big one. There's so many things going on. Pluto's going direct. Venus is entering Libra after being with Virgo in the South Node. And there's a T-square happening with the Sun and Jupiter and Chiron and the Moon and all the stuff. Like, there's so much stuff going on. And I can't wait to talk about it. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your energy. Now let's get to it, shall we? On Monday, October 13th, Pluto, the planet of power, death and rebirth, secrets, debts, how you're connected to others and deeply connected to your inner self. It's going direct at 0 degrees in Aquarius. So what this feels like to me is that we had a little bit of a bout of Pluto in Aquarius. You know, it went forward for a little bit. We experienced the shadowy side of Pluto in Aquarius. I feel like we dug up and unearthed like the core essence of what we need to build, the Aquarian values that we need to build in our lives that will give us more direct power. We experienced where we are lacking. And then it retrograded, right? Pluto went backwards to 0 degrees to have us start fresh. And that's what we're doing today. We are starting new. So I want you to take a look at your chart. Where is 0 degrees of Aquarius? What house is it in? Are there any aspects being made to your personal planets? Because wherever Pluto is moving forward, that's where you're getting a rebirth. That is where you are able to release your shackles and start fresh. Now, the very same day, Venus, the planet of beauty, love, attraction, money, assets, your self-worth, it is changing signs. Thank goodness, okay? Venus was in Virgo, okay? At the time of my recording this, it's still in Virgo, and it is very uncomfortable in Virgo. It's the opposite of where it wants to be. Venus does want to be in Pisces, and in Virgo, it overthinks, it stresses, it worries, it's overly critical and too detailed. It pushes love away, and especially with the South Node being in Virgo and Venus conjuncting the South Node, we've been doing a lot of purging in the Venus area of our life, in our love lives, in our finances, in our self-worth, purging the ideas about the self that we no longer need. So, when it moves into a sign that it loves and thrives in, Venus thrives in Libra. It is exalted, okay? It knows what it wants, which is all the good things. It's all about aesthetics and pleasures and relationships, bonds. It gets all lovey-dovey in the sign of Libra. And as it enters the sign of Libra, it's also going to oppose Neptune in Aries. So it's this really good energy that we're getting introduced to, but there is a tendency to either go overboard with Neptune being involved, the need to find balance between the self and what we value in our relationships, or balance between how much money we think we have and how much money we actually have. Or there can feel like a detachment, like a separation from love or money or the aesthetics or the pleasures that you want. Neptune in Aries opposing Venus in Libra, it can blind you. Yeah. It can blind you a little bit, and you want to make sure that you are rooted in what you bring to your relationships. Know what you are worth, what you value in your relationships, and where the equality in your relationships is degrading, where you may need to put yourself first, where you may need to learn to compromise. So there's that opposition happening, right? And then this is just a little bit of a taste, okay? Because we're going to get this T-square later on in the week. Then there is a T-square happening between the sun in Libra, the moon in Cancer, conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, and Chiron in Aries. What does that mean? This is all cardinal energy, 4 signs that always create friction with each other, except for Capricorn's not really involved in this one. That's why it's just a T-square, okay? Not a grand square. We have Cancer, Libra, and Aries. This can feel very emotional, especially with Jupiter conjuncting the moon. It can feel like even though you are experiencing an imbalance or a past pain, or you're working through your wounding, that you find the need to push through anyway, because the sun in Libra wants to show up, okay? It wants to be there for the people that it has made promises to. It wants to be connected, yes? And Venus in Libra is going to amplify that feeling. But like I said, this is a preview, okay? We're going to have the big T-square later on in the week, but this is just a little prick. There is an emotional aspect of your life on Monday that is forcing you to show up some way, somehow, regardless of what you're going through. And that brings us back to Pluto. This idea of picking up our power and putting one foot in front of the other, moving, allowing ourselves to get unstuck. That's what Monday has in store for us. And if you really want to know how this energy is directly affecting you, you must look at your chart. Look at your Aries house, where Chiron is. Look at Venus, where Venus in Libra is opposing Aries and Neptune. But Chiron and Neptune are very far apart, so they might actually be in opposite houses. You want to look at your Pluto house. So where's Aquarius? And where is Cancer showing up for you? All right. And on to the next Tuesday, October 14th. Ooh, it's Grand Air Trine Day. Okay, what does that mean? Venus in Libra, Pluto in Aquarius, and Uranus retrograde in Gemini are all at 0 degrees of their respective signs. All 3 air trines, or air signs, all 3 air signs are being fired up at their most authentic self, at 0 degrees, at what makes the difference between them and the next sign, right? This air energy, this pure air energy is being activated. And guess what? Not only is it a grand air trine, it is a grand kite, because also at 0 degrees on the other side is Aries, Neptune in Aries. So when we talk about Venus, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, it's almost as if Venus, Pluto, and Uranus in the air signs with this grand kite with Neptune and Aries, it's like the air energy is forcing you to have a breakthrough with Neptune and Aries. Where have we been misled? Where have we been deluding ourselves? Where have we given away our personal power and our appreciation of self, our dedication of self? This grand air trine is activating the mind, yes, because it is the sign of air, but also it's activating the heart. Why? Because when you master your mind, you have no choice, but to drop into your heart. Venus values love, relationships, beauty. Pluto, death, destruction, power, regeneration, intimacy. Uranus, divine intervention. This is a beautiful time to sit with yourself, to have the messages open themselves up to you. We're going to be riding a good high when it comes to mental activity. Today, some of the most potent messages might come through for you. And they're going to come through to show you what Neptune in Aries has been trying to work through with you. It may show you dreams and goals that you might have pushed away because you thought they were unattainable. It might show you how you've been circumventing your own leadership energy. It might show you who's in your life that actually helps to bring out your most authentic inner self. Who's in your life that keeps you from jumping off the cliff when you just have this grand idea and no planning. Because let's be straight, this is air sign energy. It's all about the people. It's all about conversations. It's all about who you are with. So you might also have people coming in on this day to flesh out your ideas, to help you work through your breakthrough. And I just keep hearing second star on the right and straight on till morning. Well, I feel like that's like Peter Pan or something like that. It feels invigorating, this grand kite. And maybe Neptune has been bringing in some illusions, but maybe also this is the resetting of those illusions, the righting of that illusion. I'm getting the Page of Cups as well. Once again, Peter Pan energy. Maybe Neptune is actually showing you all that you can achieve, all that you can do. That you don't have to grow up. You don't have to get old. That's not true. Everybody does. But that you can achieve the things you want to achieve. You can have a good time doing it too. Now I'm also hearing, free your mind and the rest will follow. Yeah, I'm excited about Tuesday. And I'm curious as well. So let me know how you're experiencing these transits down in the comments. I love to hear how people experience things in real time. It makes me a better astrologer. So let me know. All right. Wednesday and Thursday, the 15th and the 16th, are fairly quiet days, okay? The square between Jupiter, Chiron, and the Sun, it is only getting tighter. It was loose in the beginning of the week on Monday, and now it's building up into this hit on Friday. On the 17th, the Sun in Libra is going to square Jupiter in Cancer, while Jupiter in Cancer is squaring Chiron in Aries, while the Sun in Libra is opposing Chiron in Aries. Here comes the T-square. This tightness in our chest, that's what I feel with this T-square. A tightness in our chest. Jupiter in Cancer is overwhelming our senses with emotion, with raw emotions. The Sun in Libra wants us to keep it all together, wants us to find the balance. Chiron in Aries is going, but what about me? There's some pain that I need to fix here, right? It's bringing up issues of relationships, finances, security, your sense of home. and your ability to take action. Because like I said, cardinal energy, this push, this friction, it's allowing you to move past your self-imposed limitations. Yeah. And by move past it, I mean, try not to also get stuck in the Jupiter Cancer of it all and just hide, like under a blanket somewhere, There's a need to put yourself out there. There's a need to get out there, to push through the obstacle, take action, and find a little bit deeper healing by doing so. Now, this square between Jupiter and Cancer and Chiron and Aries has been affecting us for quite some time. But the Sun in Libra, adding and making it a T-square, is also allowing us to use our Libran qualities to resolve the matter, find balance. Don't let the scales tip. Don't overdo it and don't overextend yourself. Everything must be just. It's all about equilibrium. And that's the healing of this transit at the end. And then we're going to dive into the next transit the next day. And it's going to give us some power. Rounding out the transits for the week, on Saturday, October 18th, Mars in Scorpio is going to trine the North Node in Pisces and sextile the South Node in Virgo. Now, they say that when Mars is in Scorpio, there is literally nothing that can get in your way. That's what they say. If you have a Mars in Scorpio in your chart, people should watch out for you. Once you put your mind to something, you will get it done come hell or high water, okay? If people need to die, then that's what needs to happen. Obviously, I'm joking, but okay. Anyway, so we have this determination, this unencumbered, determined Mars, the planet of drive, the planet of ambition, fights too, okay? But I think with this trine here, we're going to not be focusing on the fights, at least, if you don't want to lean into the South Node Virgo aspect of it is. Okay, let me back up. If you are allowing the sextile of the South Node in Virgo and Mars in Scorpio to take precedent over the trine with the North Node, then yeah, you might find yourself in some fights, some nitpicky bullshit, like you really want to get something done and this is the other person that's fucking it up. Or I want to get something done and everything I do is wrong, Like that's the energy that you'd have to be leaning into. Or you can go to the North Node, which is where we're all supposed to be pushing towards, to the Pisces aspect of it all, and get so intuitively creative. Allow yourself to open to the possibilities. Allow yourself to charge towards your spiritual alignment. That's what the North Node in Pisces is. It's all about being aligned. It's all about being spiritually connected. Embracing our unconditional love of self and of others. So you are trying to get something done today. Yes, you are. You are digging deep, possibly into your subconscious, because Mars in Scorpio also wants to do that. Depends on where Mars is in your chart, what house it's in. But this water, this trine in water it's almost like a wave. It's like riding a wave from this T-square, from this friction, from this need to do something about it. It's the Three of Wands. I just see the Three of Wands from the Light Seers Tarot deck, the lady with the surfboard. Mars trine the North Node is a wave of creativity, is a wave of understanding, washing over us, taking us to a new emotional space. And thank God, because, there's a lot going on this week. We've been going through a lot of things, and I think that we all need it as a collective. We need it. We deserve emotionally being able to rise, a transcendence. We deserve to get out of the mud. And that's definitely what Mars trine the North Node is going to help us do. All right, y'all. Sunday is quiet. I think Sunday is an integration day. So we've made it through the week. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope I have been able to answer your questions. I hope I've been helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I love talking about astrology. It's one of my favorite things to do. If you're looking for tarot pulls, I do daily tarot pulls on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram, on TikTok, Cosmic Belonging. And I'll be back next week. Yeah, if you're looking for a reading, reach out. I am at cosmic-belonging.com. You can also hit me up on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. I will get back to you. And I hope you have a blessed week. Until next time. Oh, and don't forget, you belong. Bye. Bye now.